And this looks like a keep to me. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a few more lands here, but I mean, we could be looking at a turn 3 Jace the Mind Sculptor. Could think of worse than that. Oh, geez. It's a little scary. All right, I like that draw, though. Drawing a land here means that we're going to get to go Signet into Sculptor, or maybe if we decide it'll be Signet into Sower and try to bait a counter out of him or something like that. It kind of depends on how our opponent uses his mana. Taking the 1, gladly. This hand is pretty stacked up, though. Interesting play. Usually when you have a Delver of Secrets, you'd rather keep the Verdant Catacombs active on your turn if you're just going to get a swamp anyway. That way you can get a look at what the top card is, and if you don't want it, you can shuffle it away. You can set a stop on your upkeep so that you can make sure that if it is something that you don't want, you can shuffle it away. And that's just one of the great things about Delver plus fetch lands, but it looks like this person would rather just thin out his deck by a little bit here. This is an interesting situation. I mean, our opponent's representing some type of counterspell. Has done nothing for the turn. So, you know, it's tempting just to play Jace here, but I don't think Jace is even really that great here, because if we brainstorm and he does nothing, then he can just activate the factory plus the Delver, even if it doesn't flip and hit us. And if we play Jace and bounce the Delver, which is a pretty normal play with Delver, then you can just activate the factory and kill Jace. So neither of those are particularly, they're not those aren't really plays that are drawing us in. So the question is, do I want to use Sower of Temptation to steal a stupid Delver of Secrets? It's not flipped up yet. I don't think I do. I think I just want to overpower him here with Serendib Efreet. I think that since it matches up so well against Delver, if he's got a removal or a counterspell, he's going to want to use it here. So we'll hopefully have one of those questions answered here. Well, no, I guess not. He's just going to flip up his, go to flip his Delver. So this could be interesting. If our Serendib Efreet gets to just hang around, then we've actually just kind of got a game plan. And if our opponent does something like tap out here, we can play Jace and just hide behind Serendib Efreet. We're also 1 mana away from playing Bribery, which I haven't really figured out how good that's going to be against our opponent, but it's probably going to be pretty decent. Take a damage here. Huh. Well, I think I'm just going to play the Jace here. I can live with Jace getting countered. Got a lot of follow-up here. Jace doesn't even get countered. Well, this is interesting. I can play it very safe and just plus Jace and look at my opponent's library, but he's got a Flooded Strand, so it doesn't really do much. So I'll probably just plus Jace and look at my library. That puts Jace at 5. But that's an interesting position, because if Jace is at 5 and my opponent has, let's say he just bounces this thing or something, then he flips up his Delver and he can kill Jace. Now, he might not flip up his Delver, right? He seems to have not been able to flip it yet, and he might do it again, in which case my Jace will be safe. But if that's the case, then I'd probably rather just brainstorm and hope that he doesn't flip and have a way to deal with my Efreet. So I think I'm just going to do that. It puts a lot of pressure on my opponent to do multiple things at once. He's got to flip up his Delver and have a way to kill my Efreet to get in and get Jace. And I like that. I think that's good for us. All right, so I'm going to put this on top of my library because we can't cast it next turn either way. And then I'll put this on top because maybe we can, who knows. But we've got a Mulldrifter to reload, and we should be in pretty good position here. So let's see if he has a way to get rid of my Efreet for starters. And if he does, then, and he doesn't flip his Delver, then he's got to use his whole turn to get rid of Jace, which is pretty good for us. All right, he did not have a way on my turn to get rid of my Efreet, which is a big deal. And he still managed to not flip his Delver. This thing is just refusing to turn over for him. Okay. Resolves. Starting to feel like my Bribery might not be that amazing against this particular opponent. All right, well, this looks like it's going to work out very well for us here. So there's Frosty the Titan. We know what our next card is. We can play... Well, we can just play Frost Titan, which doesn't seem like the worst plan I've ever conceived of. I feel like playing Frost Titan and just plussing Jace on this thing. Let's see how this goes. All right, he's got a counter for this. Force Spike. Okay, that's what he was waiting for. All right, well, that's sufficiently annoying. Now let's take a look at his library here and get Jace out of most ranges. Dungeon Geist. Well, I think we're going to put that one on the bottom of the library because he can cast it. It locks down our Efreet and it lets him get in there. Now, it doesn't let him flip, though. He could still, though, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, play a land, activate, and then kill Jace. So we will go ahead and put Dungeon Geist on the bottom, especially because we don't really have a great answer to it right now. And then for the rest of the game, most likely for the rest of the game, we're going to be zeroing Jace. And we might even, let's see if Delver flips. We might bounce a Delver, though. Yeah, that's not happening still. So Force Spike's annoying. We'll know to play around it next game, but like we could have gone Mulldrifter, etc. But yeah, we're in a fine position here. See what we get here. Well, there's Tinker and Sphinx of the Steelwind and Academy. I don't think we want Academy. We're going to tinker away this Boros Signet. So let's put Sphinx and Academy on top, and then let's just tinker it away. Okay, so that worked. And let's just play a Basalt Monolith. Should I attack yet? You know, I'm not really seeing a great compelling reason to. I can start getting in for 3, which is nice, but I'm going to end this game very quickly if my opponent doesn't do something pretty impressive pretty quickly. Flipping the Delver would have been good for him about 5 turns ago, but not anymore. Yeah, he looks like he's getting a little tilted by this fact. I'm keeping the Sower of Temptation as insurance in case he, plays a control magic on my Sphinx of the Steel when I can just steal it right back. Kind of want to just draw my Force of Will so I have a combat trick against him. Or, excuse me, a counterspell against him. Okay, let's keep doing this. Signets and all types of stuff. So we'll put a land. Signet back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can play Myr Battlesphere. I think it's time for us to start battling here, though. This is half of his life total. And he can't block any of it. He's going to play Vendilion Click. Okay. Can live with that. Who's he going to target? He's going to target himself. Don't know what he's got that he wants to get rid of, but we get to see it. Can't do lands. If you're flooding out, which is likely because we've seen the Delver not flip forever, he's either got a bunch of creatures or a bunch of lands in his hand, and he's considering that he hasn't missed a land drop yet. Oh, he did target me. Oh, he did target me. Sorry, somehow I thought that was targeting him. All right, well, it wasn't. And he got rid of my... got rid of my Sower. What a monster. All right, I'm going to play Mulldrifter. Don't really see any reason to go all in on Myr Battlesphere here. Don't think it really gets me where I want to go. So let's play some Signets. And ship it back. We'll play Bribery next turn. I think he's probably got a Wrath effect of some sort here. He just can't seem to flip this poor thing. So at this point, if he's got a Wrath, he's got to fire it off here, I think. Waiting an extra turn just starts to get silly. He could also have something like an Upheaval, which isn't too bad. Ooh, Karn Daddy. Kill Sphinx. That's interesting. I do get to immediately kill Karn here. So it's just a trade, but that's pretty good. Karnfather down. There's what I was hoping for. So 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 5, 10. I'm actually one short. Yeah, I'm just going to say go. He's top deck, or he's not top decking, but he's only got one card left in his hand here. And I get to just sit on Jace kind of forever. So Force of Will is pretty big. I can wait a turn and have mana for either this plus this or whatever. He finally flipped his Delver. What did he show? Gifts. Yeah, that's probably worth countering. I mean, he gets 2 cards out of it minimum, let alone some type of shenanigans that I don't know about yet. I wonder if I should just bounce this Aberration now. Kind of just want to draw more cards, especially because we're a little bit out of gas here, but that is his only real threat. We can just sort of pound on him in the air here. Especially because I'll have a Battlesphere down. Yeah, let's get rid of that thing. Fight. Assuming I have enough mana here. 5, 6, 7, and then 3, 4, 5. So I do. Let's Bribery you. What kind of a deck have you built, sir? Wow. Shieldred? Getting back my Frost Titan, making you kill your soldier? That's probably better than Sundering Titan, which kills 3 of your 4, 5, 6, 3 of your 8 lands. Yeah, I'm going to get shielded. That seems decent. And I think I can just save Myr Battlesphere in hand here, given this board state. All right, he has given up. Okay, so our opponent's playing a mid-range value deck. He did have a Wrath of God in there, wasn't in his hand. So we got to be careful about that. I didn't see anything too crazy, though. I don't think there's really anything that I feel the urgent need to counteract here. So I think we're just going to run it back. Well, this one's a pretty easy mulligan. I mean, yeah, if we draw a land, we can play a Signet, but even then we've got way too much high mana stuff to really make it work. So we're going to mulligan. Sure. This might be one of those stairway to nowheres, but oh, we do have a Sower. We'll steal that guy. Mulldrifter. What a great draw. That's maybe one of our best possible draws there, because now if we play now we can ramp up into a Mulldrifter, and while we will have dumped part of our hand out, we can recoup some of that loss. That card advantage loss, and still have the mana to cast this stuff. Also, it just matches up really well against Delver. So, quite happy to see that, I will say. Bribery. All right, well, we're just going to go for a Signet here. I think I just go for Golgari Signet because I'd rather have him force spike this one than the Simic Signet. Because my plan... maybe that was a mistake. Maybe my plan should have just been to play Sower next turn no matter what. Mazavith. It's interesting. Ooh, he's getting aggressive. All right, well. Now I wish I would have played the Simic Signet, but so it goes, I suppose. Oh, I drew an island anyway. Yeah, let's just play a Sower here. Oops. So we'll steal that thing. And then, well, maybe we'll flip it up. We get to attack him with this stupid thing. Skullclamp. Nope. But you know what I will do? I will play that Skullclamp and kill your stupid Delver. That is one thing I will do. We'll play Mulldrifter later. Don't have anything else to do anyway. So what we'll do is we'll just maximize, make him use up his Mazavith, I guess is all we're really doing. But we don't have anything else to do with our mana, so we might as well make him use it. Oh, he's just going to eat the Delver. Well, I guess I would have rather drawn 2 cards off of it. Hey, he forgot to use his maze. It actually worked out for us. Even though that was a mistake. I shouldn't have attacked with it. I should have just attacked with this thing and made him use his maze, even though it is not really a big point to that, and then just equipped up the Delver. I'm actually happy to have the Delver dead either way, but as you might imagine, I'd rather have 2 cards in my hand than not. All right, well, onward. Good draws. Don't think I'm going to get away with this one again. I distracted him last time. Not this time. If he wraths now, I'm not sad at all. In fact, I'll probably attack and then just cash in Looter il-Kor. Ah, he's going to go get something. This is actually kind of sick. I can Bribery him here, and then he won't get that card because I get to shuffle. Pretty rude. Pretty rude of me, but I'm a little concerned, though, about going for Bribery when he's got 4 cards in hand. Then he can have a Wrath. I guess I don't have to worry too much. Like, Skullclamp means I get 2 of the cards back. Mulldrifter means that I already got 2 cards before I even cast this guy. And Looter il-Kor is just whatever. I can even just put the clamp on it and just cash it in. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for it next turn, because what it really ends up doing for me is it shuffles away his Imperial Seal, which is great. And I can go get Sundering Titan. I can blow up 3 of his effectively 5 lands here. That's a pretty big deal. So let's battle. I want to loot away one of these lands. Keep some damage coming in on him. Okay, he wants to... What? Well, that one made the least sense. I could see if he did this because he wouldn't want me to effectively draw a card, and I could see if he did this one for damage reasons, but the Mulldrifter? What is this? Disenchant Skullclamp. Huh, well, now I see why he did it. That's interesting. That does change things a lot. Oh, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. Bribery you. Huh. Looks like he changed things around a little bit. But what do I spy? Hello, friend. I like that. Let's draw some cards. There's that Force of Will that I wanted. There's a Tinker. All right, well, it looks like this game's just about over. This is interesting. I actually don't want to get Force Spiked. I don't want my Tinker to get Force Spiked. So I guess I play around it? So now I Force of Will anything that stops me from killing him next turn, which is basically Wrath effects. I mean, Mazavith is going to be good against the Grizzlebro. But I will still be able to gain life from Sphinx. And draw more cards. Oh, he's going to Thoughtseize me. Does make my Tinker a bit worse. Huh? All right. I don't know if this is correct or not, but I'm going to let him. I feel like Force of Will is the only thing I really care about, but I have Glen, Elendra, Archmage. So I can just play that first with all this extra mana I've got. And just have that be my Force of Will. In worst case, he Wraths me. I just play Meloku. I don't know if you guys can see that. He says, well, I got nothing. All right, he took away the Sphinx. It's pretty funny. And we even get Frost Titan for Mazavith so that we win right now. All right, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. I actually need 11 to make that. No, I got Force of Will. What am I talking about? This all works out just fine. Not the worst top deck ever. all of my creatures have evasion, so Mishra's Factory doesn't do anything. And we get there. All right, that was a fun one. We'll see how round 2 goes. Thank you for watching Drafting with Marshall. If you haven't subscribed to Gathering Magic, you can do so to receive news of upcoming videos and discover more content. You can also check out our playlist that contains every episode of Drafting with Marshall. And don't forget, you can easily watch the next video by clicking the annotation on screen or by clicking a direct link in any subsequent videos for this episode in the description box. And as always, thanks for watching.